So my name is Curtis Letniak. I live in Alberta, Canada, and among other things, I have the opportunity to be involved in business there. And so as a business person, having a purpose for being in business is something that I've struggled with over the years. As God has blessed and provided, there has to be a greater cause or greater reason for what we're doing each day. And so a number of years ago, I had the opportunity to be introduced to ASAP and the work that they're doing, and was invited to join on a mission trip. And so through that, God really changed the life of not only myself, but my whole family as we had the opportunity to be involved in the work that God is doing in places like Cambodia and other countries in Southeast Asia. Seeing how God is working with different schools, different church planters, and different places where currently there's a real need for the knowledge of Christ and His love for us. Just seeing the way that ASAP works and how the dedication of the teachers and the church planters and the medical missionaries, and just seeing how being involved in partnering and maybe developing a school or a different project in some of these countries has given me a purpose and a reason for being in business, and not just supporting financially, but being involved with your time and connections and opportunities that we have to work together and partner. So on one of the mission trips that we were part of several years ago, we had the opportunity to see this church planter that had started a work in a certain part of Cambodia. And he was so dedicated. He would have a school in one area where there was a church, and he would start that school and run the classes in the morning, and then he would actually swim across this lake to the other side of this lake where there was another school. And this school, when we first saw it on the other side of the lake, was this small classroom up on stilts. It was called the Blue School, and there were 200 children that would attend this class throughout the day. And to see the difference that this school was making for these kids, but they had such a poor facility. We got to meet the teachers. We learned that many of them were 13, 14, 15 years old, and they were working as a volunteer position, just giving of their time to make a difference in the lives of these young kids. And to see the joy that these kids had as the teachers were leading them in Bible stories and songs, it just stirred our hearts. And as we realized the need for a better school and a better facility, it was one of those projects that we can be part of, maybe expanding this work and seeing how God can use an even larger school to make a bigger difference, and also how there could maybe be training opportunities for these young kids that really had no training to be teachers, but they were willing to do what they could with the time that they had. And so how can we partner together to actually provide training and opportunities for them to continue their knowledge and skill in teaching? So it was actually really neat how God worked out the opportunity for that building to take place. We had been planning to bring a group over and be part of the building project, but then COVID hit, and so we weren't sure how this was going to happen. But God always has a way to work things out, and it was actually during COVID that this school building was built on a plot of land that's very strategically located between 3 different villages. And just seeing how God still, in spite of those challenges, His work moved forward, and that school today is a growing and thriving school that we're excited to be able to see very soon in person. God has a plan for every single one of you to be involved in His work, and it's something that we have to be intentional about. And so I would just invite you to cry out to the Lord and say, God, is there some small part, small or big, that I could be involved with in your work? And just ask, is there something with my time, my talents, the opportunities, connections God has given me, that perhaps even partnering with ASAP in some way could be a blessing to you and to your family as it was to ours. Friends, I want to just appeal to you. Cry out to the Lord and ask, is there something that you would have me do? Because Jesus is coming soon. Now, more than ever, mission matters.